Shelley Coolidge was the head coach of the GG's women's hockey program from 2003 to 2009, and she holds the program's record for most playoff victories. Coolidge's GG's made 4 appearances at the national championship tournament, bringing the program to national prominence. Coolidge was named the QSSF Conference Coach of the Year in 2003-2004, and 4 times guided the team to the conference final, winning the banner in 2003-04 season and capturing silver medals in 205-06 season, the 206-207 season, and the 208-209 season. Coolidge's career regular season record with U Ottawa is 48-38-5-10, .475 winning percentage, with 14 postseason victories. A past president of the U Sports Women's Hockey Coaching Association, Coolidge was an assistant coach at the 2009 World University Winter Games, where Canada won the first ever gold medal in women's hockey. The manager of women's hockey at Hockey Canada prior to becoming GG's head coach, Shelley, was also the head coach of the Carleton Ravers women's hockey team from 2009 to 2014. Shelley has held positions at International Ice Hockey Federation and the Coaching Association of Canada, Ring-At Canada, and has been heavily involved in coach development and mentoring programs. She is a past recipient of the Canadian Women in Sport Breakthrough Award and Hockey Canada's Hal Lewis Award. Please welcome Shelley Coolidge to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. It is a real honor for me to be inducted into the Hall of Fame alongside Kim and Bob. Now, one of the greatest pieces about all this is the people you meet. And so today for me has been a real treasure, an opportunity to reconnect, to see so many of you once again, to take a look at the people that were students in our program that worked for us and that went on to develop great pieces in our programs and that really helped build it. And so when we look at numbers, and I started to make a list, and I'll just quick show on the back, started to make a list of the people who had helped. And so I don't have time to name it all tonight because Ash has given me a time limit. But I'll tell you that I was at 106 early in the weekend, and then as I started to move along into this week, it's like 110, 112. And just to think of the people that have impacted this program. So when we look at builders, the builders are part of each and every person that has taken the time, whether you've been the coach, whether you've been the manager, our equipment managers, mentors, community leaders that allowed our programs to come in and allowed the athletes to be in a position where they were voluntold. There are so many, again, people that we really need to thank. Now, this celebration is about 25 years, and to get to 25 years, we needed a foundation before that. And I want to say, too, that I'm very thankful to Ange Martin and Norm Chouinard, Ange's dad, and Dan Ratushny for the drive and the passion to take the program at the time to human rights and to be able to drive that program forward. So it didn't just start with us, it was before us, and there are players in the room that had played in that pre-time. So 25 years of the formal resurgence of the program, and this is something that we're going to continue to build forward together. I also think that it's a real honor and a treasure tonight, in a very tragic circumstance, that you're playing to honor the MK23 Melissa Kingsley Scholarship. But I'm going to say that what a legacy, that there's an opportunity now to continue to support future leaders in the program. It's an opportunity to connect and to remember individuals that were involved. That I want to just quickly say to Kim that I want to congratulate you. Danikas and Bob have both shared a number of the pieces that I was going to say, so I won't get into all the details of it. But I can tell you that as a coaching staff, that it was an honor and treasure to coach you. You challenged us, and in some ways, good ways, and in others ways, it was like, hey, where's the line? You know? And we found that, right? Like we worked really hard to find it. And when Kim was talking about maybe getting sat, I said, I could tell you it was never for her compete, but it was maybe for just crossing that edge a little bit, right? It's just trying to draw it back. And they said by the time that we got into years 4 and 5, I said that she had definitely changed the course on ice and games. I said in practices at times it was still a little over the edge there, but I said you really helped all of us as a staff grow. The other thing that I really cherished about Kim is I said, here's somebody that grew up in the community, and that when we told, Kim, it's like, here are a couple events we need you to go out to and talk to kids in the community. She goes, I hate speaking. So I'm very proud of the fact you got up here tonight, that you spoke so eloquently and that you shared the stories you did, but that you also took the risk and you had the courage to go out and speak and to take part in those community development sessions and actually lead some of the groups, that even though you needed a little bit of a push to do it. So congratulations on that. I'm incredibly grateful as well when, Bob talks about help. So I watched this gentleman stand at the end of the rink, and for a while I'm like, okay, who's at the end of the rink? Who's watching the team play? The skates on, right? Coach is watching. But there's this kind gentleman that every single day you walk down the hall, it's a smile and a hello. And Bob, the day that you walked in, you said, hey, I've got a skill set to help. We're like, you're in. You were part of the over 100, right, that came to the plate. But Bob then started to show up all the time and was so helpful to this program. And to be honored here as a builder with you is a real treasure and something that I hold dear in my heart. So thank you, Bob. I thought this was going to be a seated affair, so I was going to actually ask the other individuals that had been part of our program to stand. But I would like, again, just for people in the room to recognize a number. And I want to start here with my first coaching staff. And my first hire, Kim Thompson. Now, quick story there. Kim's interview with me, one of the things that she said, and this is an opportunity for all of you that are applying for jobs, that in the interview I said to Kim, what's your goal? She says, I want your job. But she spoke from the heart, right? And in that exact moment, it's like I knew that she was in. And so all of the pieces that Kim brings to the program, I said, have been incredible. And I said, and you could be standing up here and should be sharing a big part of this award. So thank you, Kim. So Stu Bowden is back over in the corner here. Now, Stu worked with us for a year, and then Stu went on to become the bigger and better broadcasting voice for the GG's programs and for university sport. He worked with the Streaming Sport Network and became a real prominent voice and seller of the game. And so when you're playing, you could hear him just share the rich stories behind the game that drew more and more fans off that weren't hockey fans to start. So, Stuart, I said you had an incredible impact, and I want to thank you for that. To Sue McGregor, you guys saw the hug and the trade-off there with Kim and Kim's favorite coach. Sue... She is, and that's actually something that I'm quite proud of. And one of the reasons that I had asked Sue to join our staff, I said, Sue's very well connected in the community. She's an incredible coach and leader, and somebody who was like Bob in the sense of all the things that she did to commit to the program. She bought the skate shop downstairs to try to find ways to provide jobs and opportunities for the students and for any players that needed extra cash. It's like that's an opportunity for you as well. And then Sue as well is one of those positive leaders that was able to share in the laughs. So Sue, thank you. To Todd Jackson, the equipment manager. Todd was part of a team that I got cut from, so I got to know him behind the scenes there. But they said as I was trying out for Team Canada teams, Todd was a guy behind the scenes that made sure all the details were taken care of. And so it was also a real honor and opportunity for us as a team to have you come in and lay the foundation work there as well. And thank you for bringing Bob in, too. Thank you. Marty Rayom is here too tonight. Marty was our first goalie coach in the program, so Marty, really respect and appreciate what you did and the whole work behind Net Minds. I said that Marty ran a conference for goalie coaches, and so I'm also very much thankful and indebted to the work that Marty did. And Marty and his wife, Ghislaine, as well, would bring GG athletes to their homes, so individuals who didn't have a place to go on certain holidays and events, or somebody was feeling particularly isolated and away from home, that Marty and Ghislaine made sure that they reached out and had a family away from home. So thank you for that. Okay, so just again, as I continue in my speech, I'm going to put it together here now. Is it just my ears that are ringing back? I'm getting feedback. Okay, thank you. I'm going to break my story here into using a little bit of the pregame protocol. So in the pregame portion of it here, and the GG story, that I, of course, keep things as people who know me well, and I've got a series of binders and things out, but I found my application to the position and my first presentation in order to apply for the job. And so in the early 2000s, my vision was to build a program and help develop a system in Canada that would be the first choice for female hockey student athletes. Okay. It was to build a program that supported athletes with quality staff, a high-performance daily training and learning environment. Of course, those are new terms now. It was to develop community leaders, to showcase the game by connecting with the community, to fill the stands by that same connection to community, and to build endowment funds and provide scholarships for women's hockey. So you look at that work that you guys have done and you've accomplished, and look at where you can take it, Ellie. I am very thankful and I feel very privileged to have had the opportunity not only to lead the group of athletes on ice, but to work with the leaders that I have. Now, in the first period here, and my personal group of Hall of Famers, I'm really thankful to my parents. And so my love for the game started with my parents, my grandparents, and our family was connected around sport. So all of my first early memories are either in the arena or on a ball field. My dad was a coach. He took care of the arena, a little small town community where you volunteer. And my mom took care of the kitchen. So I got to go in the arena early with Mom, and that and get things started, which meant I got a chance to go skating. And I got to be there at the end of the night with my dad, where we flooded the ice, and I got a chance to go skating, and I learned how to unlock the door so we could crawl in on days where the arena was closed. So I got another chance to go skating. So my parents let me play hockey when girls weren't allowed to play. And a bit of my experience was around resilience, where I played with the boys in minor hockey. I was yelled and screamed at by a lot of different parents, and a lot of my close friends' parents had a lot of awful things to say. However, at the age of 11, I played in a provincial event, and in the provincials, we won our first 2 games. However, after those first 2 games were done, the other teams appealed, and so instead of winning, Saskatchewan Hockey and Hockey Canada came back and said, you've lost these games, girls don't play hockey. I've got the still quote here. So girls don't. That was motivating for me, heartbreaking at the time. Let's not tell anything out of school. I was crying a lot. But I found a women's team at the time, and so those women were between the ages of 20 and 50. And I learned an awful lot from them. And through that, there's two pieces. One, my mom said to me, Shelley, there's no point in complaining. Figure out how to do something and go and do it. Find a solution. That drove me to be the provincial branch representative in the province of Saskatchewan as a volunteer. At the age of 18, I joined Saskatchewan Hockey. And then later on in that year, I found out that we were representatives on the female council and the board with Hockey Canada. So we were part of those meetings. Through that time and that we learned that women's hockey was going to be part of the first Olympic event in 1998. And so what an honor and a privilege to be there for that message. Now, I'm just looking at the back here with both Les Lawton and Julie Healy from Concordia at the time. And Julie went on to be my boss at Hockey Canada. But when women's hockey made the Canada Games debut in 1991, Les and Julie were recruiting athletes from that period. That was the first university program in Canada that I knew of that was actually out actively recruiting athletes. They were bringing people in, like girls to come play, inviting people from right across the country, and from the US. They had an incredible team and talent. So I want to thank you guys for being the spark that drove me to ask, why isn't university hockey being played right across Canada? Why aren't there more programs? And so that again was a bit of a driver for me to help work to make change. Now, diving back into my 20 to 50-year-old story of my teammates, that what I learned during that time is that I had teammates that paid attention. They made space for me as a young kid. They listened to me, they saw me, they heard me. They also encouraged me. And one of those people is here today, and I want to thank Karen Lostrom, who played for the U of S back at that time. And that was my driver as a young kid, that it's like these people helped build my confidence. They built my ability to be confident in what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be. And that also drove me to the community development voluntold experience, where I learned that there was Shelley as a young kid having people stop, older people stop and take a moment, just a mere moment to sign an autograph or have a conversation. Lofty was she was not my teammate, I competed against her. But she had such a profound impact on me. And so that message to you as well, doesn't matter what town you're playing in, if there is somebody that wants an autograph, take the moment, take the time. If you get a chance to be involved in community, take the chance, take the time. As I continue here in the second period, right, in the active leaders, that Danica and Kim listed all of the programs that we were involved in, but the team was also involved in volunteering at a long-term care home. That also had been led by Sue, and there were jobs and opportunities. So the athletes of today know you can reach out to the alumni in the room, and that they will help find opportunities and jobs for you and to help create and drive that forward. In the third period, our program here under event leadership set a new bar for hosting CIS Nationals. And so Stephen, thank you, Stephen Drover's here in the room. Stephanie, where's Steph? Can you raise your hand there again? Steph and her kids, do they have to head out? So again, we had another student work study individual that was doing her master's. Stephanie came in and she actually drove that championship. We hosted 2 years in 07 and 08. We created an endowment fund out of the money that was made in our program to be able for that program to continue on. It was a lot of hard work, and I'm very, again, thankful for your work. Thank you. Now, I went from the third period there, overtime, because today you had overtime. It's incredible, right? The resilience that the team showed today was very much something that we cherish. Kim had spoke about the moment where we'd played. It was St. FX and Ottawa, and we were down. There was a ton of snow outside. We're playing the national championship. But the grit, determination, and the whole bit shows that the game isn't over till the final whistle goes. That there's going to be a lot of things in your life here where you're going to have the highs and the lows, and we know that. But with that high and the low, that know, again, that people in this room have your back. People showed up today to celebrate the GGs. It wasn't just about the 25 years and the three of us. This is about the GG women's hockey program. And I'm going to call on you today as well in overtime to continue to show up for the team in the program, to continue to find ways to contribute and give back. Said for those of you that are financially able, put a Starbucks aside, make a $10 donation to the program monthly. Does that work, or do you need more, Ashley? That works? Okay. But again, yeah, it's like if you can, find a way to give back to the program, because the athletes of today, we want to make that experience easier for them. We want to make sure that they can show up on the ice and compete. And I could tell you that it's a hard job as kind of a coach and a leader to do that. So I'm up here kind of asking in overtime for you to continue to support this program. That my other professional part of my experience here was spent in Zampub. We had a lot of meetings in Zampub. And one of our other leaders, Jason Martineau, who had to leave, Jason said today, he goes, Shelley, he says, I owe you probably about $10,000 in Zampub breakfasts, but thank you for having your meetings in there. In my post-game reflection and closing, just want to say that I've been so fortunate. I poured my heart and soul into this program, into finding ways to develop it, and I poured it in there because of you and the players that played for us at the time, for the coaches that worked in the program, but even more importantly, for the future of the program, to make sure that for every single group, that your job gets easier, your opportunity gets easier, so that you can just show up to compete. This game is bigger than all of us individually, but the lifelong friendships that we make, our mutual love for sport, for creating leadership opportunities, and for girls and women in sport will be a bond that will continue to tie us together. I'm proud of the people that grew up through our program, and hopefully those lessons that were learned along the way and during that time were valuable lessons. Life is messy at a lot of time, but I all know that we can all reach back again and continue to help one another. In the words of Marg McGregor, if you don't know who she is yet, I'm going to encourage you to look it up on your phone hereafter. Another leader for Canadian women in sport. She would often say, it's as you ride up in the elevator of life, take the time to hold the door open, to send the elevator back down, and to reach back to bring the others up with you. We have an opportunity to continue to be leaders, make sure that we reach up for one another. Again, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee. Yes, Ashley, I know I'm way over my time limit. I want to thank the committee for recognizing my efforts, and however small they were, but globally large. So thank you to the group around me. And Ash and Steve, I know how much work this event was, so thank you for putting it on. What an incredible transformation of space. Just want to finish with go GGs go.